Hello, I'm Tons, as always, and we are back doing our review and play of GreedFall. You will notice if you were watching the last video that we are not where we ended last time because, as I specified, I was going to do a lot of things off screen, and as you can see, our three original companions are even more spiffed than ever. Haeva, as if I mean, we didn't even know it was possible for her to get more spiff. I mean, we probably did due to the crafting system, but here we are, as she is more spiff than ever. I also changed some abilities around. I did get rid of roll, at least for now, and instead also got rid of fury. Things we had talked about potentially doing. And the reason why is because I've decided to focus on getting to Storm and then improving that. Storm is very useful in my opinion. I did some tests. I also wanted to fit Haeva's playstyle or character, and Storm, I mean, look at it. Just look at it. So basically, Storm lets you do stasis in a group, and every boost you gave to this stasis applies here. Now the reason I mention that is because I finally figured out what this was and how it worked. And I applied the stasis alchemical formula to our sword, thinking that was cool at first. But the thing was, it was a different stasis than this. So it just didn't, it wasn't as useful as I thought it would be. Plus, I'd have to keep making alchemical mixtures or buying them, and I was not interested in doing either. We already had Fury. We tried that. I didn't much care for it. So after doing some tests, obviously this was not an option, the ring, because we are not using that. But we tried everything except for the bomb stuff. Or this. I even tried Shadow Burst, and I got to Shadow Burst using this. Though, in hindsight, we could have used this too. Because it wasn't like I was using the traps or going to use the ring. But when I got here, I misinterpreted this. I thought it meant it slowed enemies, period. It doesn't. And so, this was not very useful for our playstyle. We spent everything the same here, I believe. Though, on a few tests, I actually considered leveling up intuition instead. That way, Haeva's like the perfect negotiating weapon. I also thought about doing lockpick. I don't know. Level 21, we're probably going to go for intuition. That way we have 3 there. But yeah, these cats are all upgraded to purple. I mean, look at them. Especially Kurt. Kurt is spiff. God, I'm proud of Kurt. Alright, so saw an icon above Petrus's head, so we're gonna do that. see what he wants.
Ah, my child, I'm happy that you are here. I've had an idea that I wish to present to you.
Please do.
I've known the Mother Cardinal for quite some time. She is a formidable woman, gifted and diplomatically skilled. I fear that your cousin might be a little defenseless when dealing with her, and would like to give him a few weapons.
What do you have in mind?
Diplomacy is not only a matter of formal encounters and choreographed etiquette. If we had the means to action more personal leverage, the Mother Cardinal could not manipulate your cousin.
How could we ever find anything of that sort?
Everyone has nasty little secrets, my child. It's our task to discover Cornelia's.
Very well. Let's go and discover what the governor would rather keep hidden from the world.
Excellent.
How would you like to go about this?
We must search her apartments in St. Matthias. They'll be guarded, of course. But if we are discreet, that shouldn't be a problem.
This is taking quite a risk. The congregation's reputation could suffer if we're caught, and my cousin's position would be weakened.
I know. But keep in mind that I know the palace extremely well. And if we want to be sure to pass without being noticed, we need only dress ourselves up as servants.
That would improve our chances. Well, let's do it.
I think we're actually going to drop Siora. And the reason for that is because of where we are going. San Mateus is just not a great place for her. Wait, where the hell are we? Hold on. Does it want us to go? Wait, let's check the map. Oh, we can't. See, I knew it. It just wants us to go to this globe right here. Let's see if the globe that is literally right here is good enough. Well, let's just see. It's looking like the answer is yes. That's what it's looking like. I'm tempted to check the merchant out of habit, but no. This is why I did the stuff off screen. To spare you guys of that. You know, our residence looks exactly the same no matter where we're at, and that's extremely disappointing. Wait, so search the Cardinal's apartments. I mean, yeah, but didn't he say we'd have to dress up as servants? Let's see if this guy has servant uniforms.
Don't hesitate to have a rummage.
It's not showing any quest items. Don't ask me why, but I'm actually thinking of switching him to bishop robes. Even though there appears to be no discernible reason as to why one would do that. Anyway, that's all off-screen stuff, so. Yeah, I don't see anything to buy. Unless it's the comfortable vest. Or the old doublet.
Goodbye.
Or maybe we can find some servant stuff. Like maybe there's a servant quarters in there we can get to. We're running this time. Because I have no idea where we should be going. Huh, she seems to want something. Biscuits.
Your Excellency. The Enlightened must have sent you. I would like to ask a favor of you.
I'm listening.
As you may be aware, we suspected this island might be the one St. Lucius wrote about.
Is that so?
We did, but let me explain. This island was where Saint Matthias lived at the end of his life, and where he founded a perfect community. Some time ago, we created a village which we called Eden, following his example. We chose this place as it seemed to be the closest to the one described in the Holy Scriptures. It is a home to a community of converted islanders, accompanied and guided in their budding faith by our theologians. As you can imagine, it is of the utmost importance to us. All the more so because we discovered some tablets there, which were engraved by our founder.
An extraordinary discovery that confirms your suspicions.
I see you understand. Alas, these tablets were stolen, probably by the islanders who still reject our influence. I know that you are generally well accepted by the natives. That is why I was hoping that you could help us to retrieve what belongs to us.
I suppose I could go to Eden and try to retrieve them.
Marvelous. The leader of the community, Father Justinius, will be able to answer your questions. May the Enlightened assist you in this holy quest, Your Excellency.
Well, I cringe whenever someone says converted natives, because I've seen how they try to convert the natives. And the unfortunate thing is the realism of all this. Because this stuff did happen. Note from a servant. Your Eminence, we have reorganized the basement room as you ordered. The damage caused by your Excellence's guests were substantial, and we regretfully had to replace the carpets, which had been heavily stained. I hope you will find the new carpets to your taste. I made sure the key to the room was on your desk as usual. What the hell happened down there? Yeah, I guess we're gonna try to find out what the hell happened down there. Hell, what the hell happened up here? There's a lot of craziness going on around here. Oh, crap. Oh. Wow. First try. That was a complete accident, so to speak. This game does not do the greatest of jobs balancing things. What is that? Find out what is hidden under the palace in San Matthias. That is pointing up, even though it says find out what's hidden under. Alright. Mother Cardinal. This one is pointing down. I'm very confused right now. Don't mind us as we... Oh. Key to a secret room. Oh, it's a good thing we followed that. There was no dialogue or anything suggesting we go to where we went other than that circle. Now I wish I could remember the content creator that talked about this. But they were talking about how games weren't being dumbed down for the player. They felt like the developers were just dumbing things down for themselves so they wouldn't have to do any work. It might have been Gopher talking about it actually. But he was talking about people who don't like map markers. And his stance was very similar to mine, where if you don't like map markers, you should be able to turn them off. If you do like map markers, there's nothing wrong with that. Play the game how you want to play. And that's basically where I'm at with it, with most things in games. I'm trying to figure out how we look like servants, man. How do we disguise ourselves? But that was his stance. But he said something interesting. He was like, the real problem that they have with map markers is that they feel the developers use them to get out of doing work.
This area of the palace is forbidden to visitors by order of the Mother Cardinal.
We did not know. Please, excuse us.
The basements are for servants only.
Very well. We'll go back up.
Okay. You're gonna tell me where we can go to disguise ourselves as servants? Because I've been trying to do that. Comfortable vest. It was the comfortable vest. That seems kind of silly, to be honest with you. But yeah, so he compared, I want to say it was Oblivion versus Skyrim. And when you read the quest description in Oblivion, it's very detailed to where you could figure out where to go just by reading the quest journal. But then when you looked at Skyrim, this was impossible. Like, you read the quest journal there, it'd be like one sentence. You didn't know why you were doing what you were doing or where to go. It wasn't detailed at all. And his point was, this was intentional because the developers were now relying on the map markers. Because rather than read your journal or rather than have them put in the work, it was like, no, just follow the map marker. That's what you're supposed to do, follow the map marker. Good thing we have money. Yeah, I'm still pretty annoyed.
Goodbye. May the enlightened always keep you in his...
Because I feel like we should not have had to buy this. You guys know how I am about money. I'm a cheapskate, damn it. But when I thought about it, I felt like it was a good point. Now, the reason I mentioned this, what made me think of all that, was how we had no inclination, no dialogue, no anything that made us, that would have encouraged us to look for the key where it was. I mean, technically, the whole thing is a big problem. It's a big mess because, I mean, come on. You have to go by two official people, the Mother Cardinal herself, as well as...
This area of the palace
Huh?
is forbidden to visitors by order of the Mother Cardinal.
We did not know. Please, excuse us.
The basements are for servants only.
Very well. We'll go back up.
Okay. What just happened? Comfortable vest. Disguise the team of servants. 3 out of 3.
This area of the palace...
Very well.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Alright, let's try something here.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
Let's see if this works. That's the downside to modding. They can have some undesired effects. Seems like that was the problem. But instead of there being dialogue or... You know what? Let me take that back. I just realized something.
Ah, well. This is a very unique place. The smell of stupor and vice reign as its masters.
You're not wrong. We should search this place. Oh, for goodness sake. This room reeks of alcohol.
And not just any old alcohol, if my nose does not deceive me. Cornelia always had great taste when it came to drinking.
But, you know, it said the desk. But that's not really clear. Number 2, we shouldn't be able to just walk by her and the guy running the Ordo Luminous. You know, like, that shouldn't be possible. So the quest is a little weird on that front. But the basement, oh no.
It seems that someone forgot their earring.
Ugh, here is an object of more than questionable taste. A woman from a good family would never wear it. It's junk. The kind of thing a courtesan would wear.
I didn't know you were an expert on the subject, Father.
The subject of jewelry?
No, of courtesans.
We are here at the heart of human depravity. Outrageous luxury, excessively priced alcohol, obvious
Surely this is enough to incriminate the Mother Cardinal.
No, my child. These things are common in certain circles, even in Leme, unfortunately. Cornelia may well have organized these things for others. These parties might be of use in gaining some political favor. We must find out who is involved and learn more.
The earring that we found may help us with that. We could ask at the brothel if it belongs to a prostitute.
We should continue searching. Perhaps we missed something.
Mother Cardinal Cornelia's account book. This account book lists many loans made from a moneylender called the Magpie. For every expense, there is a corresponding money input which completely cancels it. The sums are astronomical. However, there is no mention of where this money comes from. There are also many recurring payments to a certain candy cane.
This document is highly important. By reading it carefully, you could learn a lot. The Mother Cardinal apparently borrows large amounts of money from a moneylender. Actually, enormous sums.
What's more, she does so quite regularly. How does she manage to give it all back?
And the name Candy Cane crops up several times. Quite suspicious, don't you think?
This sweet person must be doing her huge favors to get these sums. I think we have everything we need. There is probably a connection between these pleasure parties and the account books. Let's ask a few questions.
The moneylender is well established. He can be found near the main square. As for this Candy Cane, the name doesn't ring any bells to me, but the moneylender must know more about him.
We can also go and gather information at the Coin Tavern. Perhaps the manager knows him.
I know I mentioned this before, but I would have liked it if there was an option to where you'd have to put more effort into disguising yourself. I mean, look at us. We look nothing like servants. Not even remotely. And yet the game registers us as servants because we have on a comfortable vest. A bit ridiculous. Like, come on, look at it. And we're the same people from before. That's what makes it even worse. The fact that we were already here. And there's no way this person would not recognize us. They would obviously recognize us. Oh, crap. There we go. Now we're good. Now we got it. Like I said, I'd make it optional, because I know not everyone wants to go through all that hassle to disguise themselves. Which so far, we've only had to disguise ourselves for one faction. That's the Naughts. So far, we haven't had to dress up as a coin guard or a member of the Bridge Alliance, but I believe we are still quite early in the game. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we still haven't really advanced the story all that far. Especially if we still have one more companion left, and it would surprise me if we get this companion. If when we get the companion, it's like midway to being towards the end of the game. There's like no way. Or I should say it would surprise me if that was the case. And the only reason I think there's another companion is because earlier there was a bug. Or at least I think it was a bug where someone named Afra had dialogue, but of course there's no Afra in our party. So I have to assume that Afra is somebody we're going to run into later, and they will be part of our schemes. He's a pimp. This guy. And again, it's another thing where we have no indicator to indicate this is who we need to talk to outside of there being, you know, a sign over his head.
So, have you found what you were looking for?
Let's just say that I'm gathering information.
My treasures are worth their price. I promise you that you will get your money's worth. For you, I'm sure we can make a special arrangement.
Yeah. Anything that lets us not pay money, I'm all for. So, Petrus, work your magic.
Father, do you want to explain to this man why we are here?
Of course. We are not here for your services, but to lead an investigation. Several clients of yours have made a complaint. Precious objects disappearing after your employees' visits.
People in very high places are concerned, which explains why we've been asked to take care of it.
This cannot be. Well, listen. Come in, but please be discreet.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Oh, we're not going to do that thing where we talk right in front of the person. We're not going to do that. Like, we just look at each other while we still are in front of him and go, well, that lying to him sure worked well. I'm not making it up. This kind of stuff does happen in this game. Of course, we gotta talk to this one first. Look at her hair. Her hair is just like Haeva's. What about this person? Yeah, so we're gonna talk to this one first because she has Haeva's hairstyle.
There are too many of you for me alone, my little lambs.
Sorry, madam, but we are here to ask other favors of you. This question might seem a little surprising, but do you know who this earring might belong to?
Why? It's mine. I lost it when... How did you get hold of it?
Are you sure you want to broach that subject here?
You're right. Come with me. Well, what do you want? Why are you giving me back my earring?
You know where we found it, don't you?
Obviously. I realized as soon as I got back that I'd lost it.
I imagine your pimp does not know that you take part in these parties. He doesn't dabble in this at all?
No. Do not say anything to him, I beg you. He's on my case enough as it is.
Then I suggest you answer my questions.
What would you like to know?
Everything.
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me. But I don't know them.
Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name?
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Really? I don't want to suggest the presence of the Mother Cardinal, especially to this woman. I mean, this doesn't make sense as a strategy to me.
Do you think that an important person from Thélème could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Damn.
Sorry, Father, I don't know
Shade.
the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Admit it. You must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I was able to recognize someone, once. Even with a mask on, I'm good at recognizing my clients.
Please continue. I'm all ears.
I don't want to implicate anyone, but he is of no real importance, and you've probably never even heard of him. It's the local moneylender.
I know very well who you're referring to, my dear.
But I didn't mention anything to you, huh? This stays between us.
I don't even remember the subject of this conversation anymore.
But let's keep talking. Oh my goodness. It's the little things.
This woman in the green coat. Could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face and never joins us. Then she disappears into a little office and locks the door.
I see. She is quite important, then. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person, so his name makes the rounds.
Have you ever spotted him at these pleasure parties?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard his name before, but that's all.
Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone. I'd lose my clients if they suspected me of speaking about them, you know.
On The Witcher, you can purchase some services if you so desired. Who's the bookmaker? Oh, right. I think that's the guy who doesn't recognize that we are the champions of the arena. Yep, that's him.
Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
I imagine that the name Candy Cane rings a bell.
Obviously. Even though I would prefer it wasn't the case. He's a sort of organizer. He captures most of the beasts who fight in the arena.
How is that a problem?
Apparently, he's fixed a few fights. These kind of rumors aren't good for my business.
If that's the case, why don't you stop him?
He has friends, protectors. Without solid evidence, no one will lift a finger. And the only ones who wanted to speak of his cartel have disappeared.
Do you know where I could find him?
He often hangs out around the port at night, but I strongly advise you to stay away from the guy.
I know how to look after myself. Thanks for the information.
Again, she is the champion of the arena.
Has the Mother Cardinal ever come here to place bets?
The Mother Cardinal? And why not Saint Matthias himself while you're at it?
Yeah.
I must be going.
Next time, then.
I would have not asked him that question, except for I was concerned that maybe what is going on? Why does it still want us to talk to him?
Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
On what would we be betting?
On the fights in the arena. You never heard of them? Quite a few come here and
Oh,
bet
she's the
fortunes.
champion. Of course she's
And do they
heard
win?
of it.
A few do. Others have less luck. But they do get the thrill either way, you see. And that's all that counts.
What is this arena?
It's a place of great pomp and entertainment, where all manner of fights take place. Men, women, savage beasts, island monsters. People are coming from everywhere on the island to participate. Or to bet.
I must be going.
Next time, then.
Alright, we tried. I have no idea what else it wants from us.
Can I get you anything?
I'm here for something else. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
If you wish. What would you like to know?
I am looking for a woman who comes here. She always wears a long green coat.
Yes, I have seen this coat before, but I have no idea who is beneath it, if that's what you're asking. All I know is that I've seen her speaking to a regular, a steward of the palace who comes to place big orders. Always prime choice.
What can you tell me about a certain Candy Cane?
Candy Cane. Everyone speaks about him, or has heard of him, but no one really knows him.
And what do they say about him?
Here, nothing. You need to go downstairs for that sort of thing.
To the games room and the brothel?
Yes, that's more the kind of place where they'd talk about him.
I have to go. I will leave you to your work.
Really felt like he knew more. But let's see if talking to him has somehow given us another option for this guy.
Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager?
I am looking for someone. A woman wearing a big green coat.
Yeah, I know who you mean. She's a good client. She comes in especially for the big fights, and she has prime information.
Do you know where I can find her?
No, I don't even know her name.
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings, would she?
No, and I can't really tell you when she'll show up next.
I must be going.
Next time, then.
Alright. So that's what we needed to do. But it's weird that we could not simply ask that in the first place, instead of asking about the Mother Cardinal directly. And that's another example of dialogue inconsistency. When we were talking to the escort, and it said, ask her about the Mother Cardinal, when we went to do that, Haeva actually was smart about it. She doesn't mention the Mother Cardinal by name. She's like, is it possible that anyone from Teleme, very high up, would be attending these soirees? With the bookmaker, at that time it was literal. Who are these guys? This, they look almost like bandits. And they're making me rather uncomfortable. Like, what are they doing there? Are they like his bodyguards that he hired?
Can I help you?
Yes, actually. I have a small favor to ask.
You don't look like you need money from me.
I'll get straight to the point. I have bad news for you. I know about the decadent parties at the palace. I know that you take part in them.
What? But what are you talking about?
Stop acting all innocent. I have all the evidence I need to incriminate you. Although your reputation isn't spotless, there are others who have a lot more at stake than you. What if I were to spread it around town that you boast about being there? You know what happens when tongues wag too much.
That's enough. All right, I get the message. What do you want?
It would appear that you know the Mother Cardinal very well. I know that she borrowed money from you. I even know how much. What I want to know is why.
I have no idea. Do you really think that my clients tell me everything about their lives?
Does she still owe you money?
No, she always pays me back on time, and with interest.
Do you think she is plundering the city funds?
Ha! If that were the case, the funds would have been depleted long ago. Nah, the money's coming from elsewhere.
Tell me about Candy Cane.
We're not close, if that's what you want to know. I just know his name, like everyone else. I mean, there are some rumours. They say he does his business in the basement of the Coin Tavern.
What kind of business?
Oh, nothing to do with my line of business. He deals in arena fights, which would be on me.
I would advise you to keep all of this to yourself.
I don't want any trouble. I will be as silent as a stone.
So, how do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the Cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain Candy Cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Cornelia love betting games, but she also wouldn't think twice about cheating to win.
Maybe he is just giving her advice. How can we prove anything?
We can always try asking him. Who knows? Perhaps he will give us an answer.
What a weird group. How strange of them. But when I was speaking of balancing items, I just mean that there's not a lot of incentive to use certain things over other things. Like at first I thought the blunt weaponry, the one-handed blunt weaponry, was better as a secondary weapon because it smashed armor. But when I was doing my shopping escapades, I noticed that they weren't all that good against armor. The one-handed ones anyway. But I felt like even as a one-handed weapon should have been more effective to give me reason to look at blunt weapons. Keep in mind that spiders did an excellent job setting the foundation for combat. They did a great job at that.
Candy Cane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true, you were right. Let's come back later.
Guess we can't just hide nearby and wait for him. We're probably gonna have to go all the way home, sleep, and come back. But yeah, they laid the foundation nice for all their equipment. But as far as the execution, they didn't do that well. It was a little disappointing. Well, of course, I mean, just how they did this period was disappointing. I'm very upset that I have to have this secondary weapon. I don't like it. I didn't want it. I still don't want it. But you have to have one equipped. I have no idea why they made that decision. Yeah, it's one of many baffling decisions in a game that is otherwise pretty damn good.
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
Alright. Alright, let's get Kurt back. Give him a real shirt. Give him his armor back. I was tempted, but I fixed it. Or I stopped myself, rather. I did forget that we had to come back at night. Keep running that way. I feel like we should have been able to climb up. Some people, and I've done this too, complain about games that don't have jump. But when they're done right, it doesn't bother me. And this one, I've not felt the need.
Poison on my blade. And let's go!
Damn. I mean, talk about running into the wrong group. You're sitting there looking for an easy mark and then we show up. You have some really bad luck in life.
Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
Desardet, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, Seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. Leggett, Leggett.
Come on. It was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while. I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
I have faith in you, Father.
Okay. And just like that, Petrus goes from suspicious to nice. He is nice on Haeva. It's official. What is his bonus? I'm curious. Charisma. That will make me want to reshuffle our stats. But we're gonna call it for now. And when we get back, what side quest do we have? Trouble in Eden. But you know something, instead we're probably gonna go for this, because I don't want to get too far without getting this other companion. For all we know, damn near beating the game and whatnot without this final companion. But joking aside, yeah, we're gonna try to see where this next companion is so that we have our full group. But thank you for joining me so far on this adventure. I hope to see you again. Until next time, please take care.